I managed to scale a brand new Shopify dropshipping store from $0 to $17,983 within the very first week of the store going live. Here's how I did it. So in this video, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper in the day-by-day statistics, how we managed to scale a brand new store from 0 to these 5 figures very, very rapidly, what product we actually scaled, and also the downsides of scaling a brand new Shopify store without any previous back history this rapidly that no one really talks about, because I do believe it's necessary to also talk about the bad sides. This is going to be a very insightful video, so definitely stick to the very end of this video. So let's take a look at the actual stats of this rapidly scaled store, because let's be honest, that's what you want to see in this video. But before we dive into that, a little backstory about the store. This store was a project of a business partner in mine that we initially started in Q3 of 2019. So yes, this store is a year ago, and we really want to rapidly scale it for Q4. We managed to find this product after doing some extensive hours of product research for I think 2 days. We really nailed out only purely product research, and we stumbled across this product while browsing AdSpy, an ad spying tool. I mean, it's in the name. It's fairly expensive, but it's definitely worth the money if you really want to do extensive product research. And we saw that this product was doing insanely well on AdSpy, had a lot of reactions, a lot of positive engagement, and was doing especially well in US and Canada. It wasn't marketed anywhere else, and that's where we saw the chance for us to really step in and take this product to not those markets, but to an untapped marketplace, the DACH area. So that's Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Later, we eliminated Switzerland due to other reasons, but only Austria and Germany. Since I live in Germany, he's from Germany as well, we speak German, we decided to take this concept, not replicate it, but we took the idea. I mean, that's fairly common, but we improved upon it. We had a better landing page, we had better creatives, and very good performance. And this store is actually a massive store right now. So we took a lot of inspiration from them as well, and from other competitors that were doing a similar thing. So we took this viral product that was doing very well overseas and attacked our regional market with it quite successfully, actually, as we managed to accumulate over $22,000 in revenue within the very first 10 days of the store going live. And at that time, this was the quickest we managed to scale a brand new store up to that date. But unfortunately, that brought a lot more problems with it than we had initially anticipated, and that was probably a big reason why we had to stop that store for the time being. Because let's put it this way, if you don't have the systems in place, don't scale your store this rapidly, because it'll bite you in the ass. And I can tell you that we did not have those systems in place. Day 1 dates back to August 25th in 2019. The very first day wasn't very promising and quite slow, to be honest. And since we had to pay over 80 euros for the very first customer for our very first order, which was 24.90 euros, it was definitely very underwhelming to say the least. But we were still very hopeful that we could turn the store around, and a little bit of honesty for you guys out there, that's gonna happen from time to time. You might have to spend $100 to get even to your very first sale at the early stages with Facebook ads, because you're still ultimately testing. But we were already familiar with that, and we took a look at the data a little bit more clearer in Facebook ads, and we decided to actually increase the budget of our overall ad spend and really push a lot more money to already promising ad sets, since we did get a few initial add to carts at that stage. So day 2, we doubled our budget, we doubled our ad spend, and really narrowed down on specific ad sets and specific interests that were already showing some very promising statistics, and boom, there we go. We had a very successful day 2.
Nice.
And it was quite nice to have already 10 orders on day 2, $400, 359 euros. That was the rough conversion rate back then. It was already all calculated, so don't worry about that. And so at this stage, we were very optimistic at our store, and then we obviously increased our budget slightly, did a little bit of fine tuning from day 2 to day 3, but we didn't increase the budgets massively. Day 3 was relatively decent, 550 euros, that's roughly $600 US, and we had a very high add to cart rate at that stage, but our conversion rate was only 3% in comparison to our add to cart rate, so we knew we had to fix something up. We also had a fairly decent average order value, which was roughly $47. Since our initial product was only around the 25 euro mark, that was very awesome. We managed to increase our average order value significantly by including quantity breaks, so the more they bought, the cheaper it got for them. And this really was a product that more people bought actually more than one of. Fast forward another 24 hours, we finally hit our very first 1K day. Super exciting after 4 days of launching. That's always something very great to get excited about. And at this stage, nothing too bad was coming our way, which was quite nice. 932 euros in sales, which is roughly $1,037. Average order value had dipped slightly because we were still experimenting with a pricing strategy, and we still managed to get 25 orders, which is fairly decent after only 4 days. The next day, we really flicked the switch.
I just flipped the switch.
And doubled our ad budget, and we managed to hit the very first 2K day, which was super exciting, very awesome. That's 1,834 euros and 62 cents, which is $2,043. 43 orders in total, so very exciting news after only 5 days of going live. One thing that I did forget to mention, during this time we were maintaining a very solid profit margin of 30%, which is very decent. Day 6, we already managed to hit a 3K day, $3,033. In euros, you can see the amount right there. At this stage, we started to introduce lookalike audiences for view content, video views, etc. So early stage lookalike audiences that were already kicking off really well. That's how we managed to bump up from 2K to 3K. At this stage, we eliminated some of the non-working ad sets and replaced them and duplicated some of the already very well working ad sets that had a great ROAS, and therefore we scaled it slightly, but not too aggressive. Right here, we also experimented with the pricing to see if more people will actually buy the product. But unfortunately, there wasn't that big of an impact, and ultimately we had a smaller AOV on this day, but we managed to hit 100 orders on this day, which was pretty enormous. 3,118 euros in revenue, 3,471 US dollars for official day 7. But for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna count day 1, and we're gonna consider this as day 7 because day 8 at that time was our best day, and just adding it together seems a lot more magical. And on day 8, we managed to hit a massive 4,500 US dollars in sales. At this stage, this was the highest and the fastest we had scaled a store from zero ever. And man, was this exciting and thrilling. We had an AOV of 35 euros and 41 cents, and we had over 110 orders on this day. And honestly, this day was life-changing and eye-opening because at this stage, we had never scaled a store this rapidly up. And if we take a look at the exact metrics for the first week of going live, we managed to generate 16,146 euros within the first week, which is $17,974, while also surprisingly getting a returning customer rate of 2.18 as well. We had an insane add to cart ratio of 30%, practically unheard of, a conversion rate of 2.74, an average order value of 35 euros and 14 cents, and a total amount of 460 orders. If we extend a few more days, the first 10 days we managed to generate over 20,000 euros in sales, and the exact number in dollars would be $22,570, and we managed to get close to 600 orders within the very first 10 days of going live, 593 orders, and that was massive within only just 10 days of launching. We scaled down for a few days after day 8 to handle the massive amount of customer support and also the order influx to not have all too many unhappy customers, and we ended up relatively strong after 10 days with $22,000 in revenue. I'd say that's fairly solid considering this was the first 10 days of the store going live. But after that, it unfortunately all fell apart, but it was a big learning curve, and me and my business partner learned a lot from that store. And here are the main things that we can take away from it. So the biggest issue that we had was PayPal, unfortunately. Since we scaled a brand new Shopify e-commerce business over 22,000 in the very first 10 days of the Shopify store and the PayPal account going live, and for PayPal, somewhat understandably so, that was very suspicious.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
And they decided to put the ban hammer on it and froze pretty much all our profits, which was over 8,000 euros for 180 days. So we saw no profits, and we still had to continually take money from out of our bank, from our personal pockets, to fulfill the orders, to keep on running ads. Fortunately, we did have a credit card at that time, so it wasn't that big of an issue, but it was still quite annoying. And the PayPal account was running under my personal name. I got a ban for 180 days as well, so we could no longer run this PayPal account, run this business under my name, since PayPal is an essential part of the German shopping experience. A lot more Germans prefer checking out with PayPal than with credit cards here. So PayPal thought, must be a scam, froze all the funds, froze all the money, and 8,000 euros just gone. And the good thing was we were working with a regional German supplier, so people weren't too unhappy with the delivery time, and we could deliver the customers the product from when they ordered to their front doorstep within 5 to 7 days, because it wasn't a dropshipping business. It was actually, let me get it real quick. This was what we're selling. We were selling customized pet canvases, posters, something like this pretty much. And it was quite the big success to begin with. Now, this product worked exceptionally well in the German market because there wasn't any massive competitor doing this and running ads for this type of product. And let's be honest, probably one of the most passionate audiences out there. And we were approaching Q4, and that was a fantastic gift idea for any person, and they've never seen this type of product. We were doing this with the skills that we already had and learned through YouTube, and we managed to create a specific template to make things a lot easier for us. But we still had to create each individual order and also place it manually. And at that stage, I was working 14-hour days because at that time, this wasn't my only e-commerce business. I had 2 more, and I was starting my initial YouTube channel. So that time was relatively stressful, but it was fun. So you might be asking, what actually ended up happening with the store? Well, I was banned from using PayPal business accounts under my name for half a year. And at that stage, he found a product. So I said, okay, you get to continue the product. And we mutually agreed that this is probably the best way. One of us should continue it for sure. He helped me find another product to go along with, and that was relatively successful as well. We went our separate ways with e-commerce. Don't worry, we're still friends. We still do a lot of projects, just not really e-commerce. So my recommendation, scale slowly, be patient. Good things will come if you consistently improve slightly day by day. Grow with your business, expand as it grows, bring in new team members, start off with order fulfillment, customer support, and then scale slowly and conservatively to not face any of these customer support issues, because later on we had to deal with quite a few returns and chargeback, even though this was a print-on-demand store, just because a lot of these orders were rushed and we didn't really give them the quality that we actually needed. And believe me, Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming up. You do not want to miss out on this big piece of cake. And if you guys want to continue learning new things about e-commerce and really get started, scale your business as well, bring in a few profits for this Q4, I highly recommend leaving a like, commenting, and also subscribing to the channel if you are not. A big chunk of you guys aren't subscribed yet, and please just subscribe. It does help me out immensely. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys stick around, and I'll see you guys next time.